Seaka exclusive.
Hello guys, this is your humble host, Young Seaka, and today on another episode of Sip to the Script, we have another really drippy, lavish guy in the studio, you know what I mean? I'm gonna let the man himself introduce himself, please, for the camera. Could you let us know who we are?
You already know it's Dodo Banks, Dodo Banks. I'm out here repping OT 613 Southside, GMP, we wavy, coming hard for y'all always.
And then this, you know what I mean? Like, just in terms of everything you've done, the accolades you've had, you know what I mean? Just in the world of hip hop, you know what I mean? You've done a lot of things, and I feel like just because it was kind of overlooked and how much I knew you and how much I've been comfortable with the Southside niggas in the past few years, you know what I mean? I just felt like it was important to have you in the studio right now as a, you know what I mean?
For sure. Appreciate you having me here, you know?
No, for sure. And who's your guest here?
This is my big dog, big homie, Too Short. Yeah, you know.
Southside legend.
Boy, Too Short. GMP. Not a legend yet, you know?
No, we're working towards that though still.
You know? Sometimes.
Thank you for having us. You know, GMP in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I do know.
And before we go back to Dodo and just kind of look, you know what I mean, into the things that he's done, just if you could kind of like explain and kind of put it out there, like as to what GMP represents and what you guys do in the scene.
GMP is a little independent label that we have going on right now. Artists are Dodo Banks, The After Party, the 100 Bad Records, so HBR Fleazy, HBR Cushy, and HBR Kenzo. We also have Boss Man. Am I forgetting anyone there? That's it for now.
That's it?
No? Yeah.
Okay, I felt like it was important to ask just because I felt like a lot of...
Yeah, some people don't know yet. Like,
you know what I mean?
They see it, but they're like, they're not sure.
That's the thing, because just the scene in the South really runs deep. You know what I mean? And a lot of niggas just are cool with each other without maybe, you know, really working with each other. So I felt like it was important to kind of clear that up. You know what I mean?
So that's the thing about the Southside, though. Like, everyone around is, like, everyone knows each other. Everyone's linked up. You know, everyone's like niggas, you know, type of thing. But, like, at the end of the day, you have your inner circle, you know? So, like, me, I'm GMP, We Wavy. So We Wavy is what I started, like, by myself.
Yeah,
you know,
by
I
yourself,
created that by myself before I started rapping. You know, I said, I'm going to create a brand for myself, and then from there, just keep moving up, you know?
Keep pushing it down,
and then from there, Too Short, you know? He's the leader of GMP, he's the creator of GMP, so he's like, yo...
Shout out Kush.
You know, and Cushy. So, basically what it is we all linked up, Southside guys, you know, from... trappers, you know what I mean?
GB.
Emerald, you know, Fairly, all around, you know?
SK.
And then we all been
too?
boys. Yeah, SK, like Trappers. Trappers is around South Keys, that's my block, you know? And like we all been boys from time, and we all been doing our music thing, but we all been doing it in our own sector, you know what I mean? In our own type of like closed circle. But then Too Short kind of made us open up and come together, you know? Now we're just all a collective and we promote anything
that comes out
drops,
of
you know what I mean? And everyone's promoting it, so it's like, rather than one person just promoting their stuff, it's like, 10 people promoting the whole thing, you know?
And definitely we're going to get back into it, definitely during the interview, just because I feel like from what happens in Ottawa, the South has such a rich history, you know what I mean? We're talking about Maurice Moore, we're talking about a lot of other people in the South, you know, even like Armel. You guys probably know him.
Armel,
he
goes by another name now.
Yeah, I know he does. But me, I just know the Dubbies, you know what I mean? But yeah, so just people in the South, just in general, you guys really run deep, you know what I mean? So I felt like it was important to have you guys in the studio to just kind of talk your shit, you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
But before we go any, you know, deeper in this, you guys brought this beautiful, exquisite drink today in the studio, please.
Thick, man. Heavyweight. The only way, you know what I mean?
We wavy, GMP.
We always stay wavy, dog.
And so I know, just so people could kind of figure out why this drink is so important to you guys and why this drink is so relatable to what you guys represent, you know, could you please introduce as to why, you know what I mean, this drink is so connected to you?
Bro, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible, but I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like some next nigga and be like, oh, the ingredients. Nah. Me, I just like the drink. You know, it's a sick drink, goes down smooth. You know, I don't like most other liquors. I barely drink myself anyway. So, you know, this is the one that I just sip, you know? Me and my niggas sip it, you know?
Okay, so basically, whenever you guys come out, it's basically an event. Dude.
It's an event, you know what I mean? It's an event, you know? Like, man don't really drink, you know? Stick to the green, you know?
Okay, stick to the green. Money, right? Of course, money.
I already know.
So, Dodo, please, before we go any deeper in the interview, I just feel like your artistry is definitely something that's more out there in terms of popularity in Ottawa. But I feel like it's important to kind of get an understanding of who you are as a person before we dive into the music, because, you know what I mean? Niggas want to know who you are.
For sure.
So, before we go any deeper, like, how was your upbringing in Ottawa?
My upbringing in Ottawa, I was raised with my 3 brothers, you know, and my cousins, you know. So my family works is like, how my family works, my mom and my aunt, they're really close, you know. So me and my cousins are like basically brothers, you know. So it's 8 of us, 8 or 10 of us, you know. So basically like 10 nephews and like and we have 1 niece, you know.
But where originally are you from?
I'm Haitian, you know, but I'm from here. My dad still lives in Florida, you know. My whole other, like my dad's side of the family lives in Florida, and then my mom's side of the family still in Haiti, and then that's all.
I feel like, you know what I mean. Like I can actually relate to that, even though I'm not from the South. You know what I mean, in Ottawa. I just feel like I can relate to that, just because, you know what I mean. Like I'm Haitian too myself, but just in general, like niggas, you know what I mean? We kind of have the same upbringing as a family and stuff like that. You know, we're close with our family members and stuff.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's like we don't have a lot, right? So we need to have each other. So at the end of the day, it's like, yo, as a kid, it's like, yo, you realize what you went through is like what your mom went through, not even you, to bring you up was just straight grind, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you actually have to thank her. And when you're up, it's like, yo, it's straight return. That's it. You know, straight return.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important for you like that to have you, someone that's kind of having somewhat of a popularity, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or someone of success in the music scene in Ottawa. Just because a lot of people, you know what I mean, like their first instinct is to go after the money once they start music, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make 100 bands and then fuck it, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
but
facts. It's like people see the money and switch up, but like, you know, it's like, who knows, you know? Because at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna front. I haven't even seen 200 bands, 300 bands, 100 bands, you know what I mean? But when I see it, personally, like, I know I'm not gonna change, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take care of my fams, take care of my dogs, you know what I mean? Free out all my dogs, you know, and just take care of everyone I love, my loved ones, you know? And that's the way it should be.
That's why you should be grinding in the first place. That's why you should be grinding,
you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. And then, like, we know, we've already made clear, you know, you're from the South. And, you know, just in general, the South just has, it's kind of more distinct, you know what I mean? We have a lot more people, like, that look like us, if I could say. You know what I mean? We have a lot more people from, like, African countries, the Caribbeans, and even from other places, you know what I mean, in Europe, that comes and lives in Ottawa. So we have a different way of growing up. So if I could refer to you, you know what I mean, what does it mean to be a Southside nigga for you?
Me, to be a Southside nigga, like, to be honest, I always just kind of, I didn't really, like, I kind of always did my own thing, you know, had my own way to, like, had my own decisions, you know, I'm always just doing my Dougie, you know, doing my stuff, you know, but, like, at the end of the day, what Southside means to me, it's like, yo, all the niggas I hang with are real, you know, and, like, we're all
What does it mean to be real for you?
To be real, it's at no cost. You have to be 100, you know, you just, no fake shit, you know, no lying, no, like, you know what I mean? Just, everyone knows what to be fake is, you know what I mean? I don't need to explain it. It's something that everyone already knows. But at the end of the day, it's like, me, I don't hang with fake niggas, you know? So it's like, I don't need to worry about no fake shit happening, because at the end of the day, if I had a fake nigga around me,
best believe he's good.
Best believe, you know what I mean? That's it. Checks, like, you know?
Was it always like that? Like, you know, coming up in the game, you know what I mean? It's like you don't really always see the game for what it is. So niggas might come through on some snake shit. And
for sure.
I won't boost. No, you're getting checked. If you do something foul, you're gonna be like, yo, bro, you did something foul.
You know?
And I think that's the difference between the South and the East, because I feel like a lot of niggas in the South, you know what I mean? Once a nigga starts moving shaky, it's like, yo, cut that shit. Or
It's like,
no, but in the East, niggas act like, oh, I ain't talking to you no more on some, you know what I mean? Like,
but on the lows, they still talk.
You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, it's like, yo, it ain't shit to cut a nigga off. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if you're acting wassy, you're acting fake, go on with that, you know? If you're not moving right, get left, you know? Simple as that. It's like, you know.
And was it always easy for you to figure that out in the game?
Yeah, me, like, personally, my niggas never switched up. You know what I mean? I've always had, like, 100 niggas, you know? Like, all my guys are real, you know? So I never had to worry about that. But, like, I've obviously, growing in the music industry and everything, I've obviously ran into obstacles where I've got finessed, you know? And that happens to everybody.
That happens to everyone.
You gotta live and learn at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So it's like me, I learned from that. Now I know what to do and what not to do, you know? And at the end of the day, when I was in that predicament, it was like I was doing the right moves. I had the right mindset. It was just I was going too fast, you know? I was just going too fast because it's like, yo, you're excited at the end of the day, you know?
Especially when you get results the way that you're getting results.
You know what I mean? So it's like, things were like they were skyrocketing, you know. So it's like anything that came my way, it's like, yo, I'm taking it, you know. So at the end of the day, it's like you got to be humble, you got to be conservative, and just know what you're doing, you know. Take your time.
Take your time, definitely, man. Like I feel like that's one thing that's really important. I feel like as soon as niggas, you know, get a couple thousand views and niggas get their head too
like,
big, you know what I mean?
And
I feel like that's important for niggas like you that, you know what I mean, especially from the South that stick together and that know how to move as a collective. For someone like, I can talk from the East, you know what I mean? I feel like when a nigga in the East does really well, it's like there's no talking to him no more, you know what I mean? You felt like he's the one that made it by himself. When really, in the end, if it wasn't for your niggas to support you, you know what I mean, you wouldn't be to the point that you are. And for you to, you know what I mean, notice that, it says a lot. It says a lot.
Nah, for real. And at the end of the day, it's like, me, I know what my objective is in the music game and what I'm trying to get out of it. So it's like, what I'm trying to get out of it is have all my dogs straight, like I said, all my family straight, that's it, you know, chase a check, simple as that, you know? And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, people move left when the money comes in, but you have to realize who got you to where you're at. Like, who did this for you to get where you're at? If they didn't do that, would you have been where you're at right now? You know what I mean? You have to think about that type of stuff. Because
no one really makes it on their own.
No one makes it. Like, honestly, if you, like, shout out to people like Young Dolph, you know, guys like that. They do it independent, but they have bands, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you have to spend like so many racks to invest in to be up there, you know? This guy, world star, post after post after post, you know? And it's like, yo, that's not cheap. Don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, he had the funds to pay for it.
Exactly.
You know, but another way to go is like, yo, have your collective, everyone pitch on a like a 1-2 thing, you know? And then it's cheaper for everyone.
Exactly,
Go that way. You know, it's not a bad thing to do that. And at the end of the day, it's like you have your dogs growing with you.
Exactly. And I feel like, I mean, you've already lived in the South where it's already a thing to do to move in a collective. So, I mean, once it comes to the music shit, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nothing really changes. Basically.
You know?
So, you know what I mean? We've kind of talked about people in your collective, like the After Party, other people you move with, like the collective you've mentioned earlier with Fleazy and all of them. And so
don't forget Boss Man.
No, of course, Boss Man. I can never forget about Boss Man.
Don't forget Boss Man. Shout out Boss Man.
That's my dog.
I can never forget.
And it's like, yo, me, I'm not gonna lie, like when I started my rap game, my rap thing, you know, and everything, Boss Man was the first one to start with me, you know, in high school, grade 12. You know, we're literally in the stew. How about I tell you? We're in the studio. And then my boy, his name's Cap God. You know, he's a
Oh, Cap God.
Yeah, you know Cap God.
Well,
yeah, that's
from
my
training
dog.
season. With
yeah,
the
training season.
Bro,
know?
stop that. Of course I know him.
Those are my dogs too. You know,
Yeah,
shout out training season. They're doing their thing too. You know. So, Jared, you know, basically Cap God, we're in the stew, you know, with Boss Man, and we're literally just recording. Like we have like a little instrumental, you know, like a little drag and drop MP3. We don't know what we're doing. And then we get in the stew. We're literally just spitting like all, like the whole verse, the hook, everything all in one, you know what I mean? But usually when you're in the stew, you're supposed to do like a hook.
You take your time,
the verse, and then you do the, like, you know what I mean? Copy and paste the hook, and then you do
better
the
for the engineer, basically,
you know what I mean?
Together,
but it's like, we didn't know what we were doing, basically, to say, you know what I mean? We didn't have an engineer. It was just like, yo, we're trying to hop in the stew and just make some sounds, you know? And it was like, yo, I remember my first ever track, you know, to write bars to was Uber Everywhere. that remix, you know, Uber Everywhere, you know. It was a little
So I mean, if you're saying your first track was Uber Everywhere, you literally started this shit like seriously only just about a couple of years ago. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like me, I didn't like get serious until like literally the end of grade 12. You know, I just said, yo, I'm gonna put my mind to it, write some bars, you know, have a nice cover art, look professional, drop my stuff on the professional platforms and everything,
and see where it
and
takes
then
you.
just see where it takes me. At the end of the day, it's like Drippy Season made numbers. You know, I didn't even expect it to make those numbers.
It did.
You know? Like some of the tracks that but some of the tracks that made the numbers, I didn't expect them to make those numbers. Like Dance, you know, me, I thought like Dance was my favorite track personally. You know. Me, I thought that was gonna be the Skyrocket one, but it was Lavish. You know?
Lavish
so
did crazy
that one
numbers.
just blew up, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And bro, like, for you to speak, you know what I mean, on the people that had your back to push it, like, you know what I mean, especially in Ottawa, because whether you like it or not, since we're from Ottawa, that's where your niche needs to be as an artist.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So like to have people in the back of you to push you, that's always a good look.
Exactly.
But in the the Henny got me wavy. No, but for real, you know what I mean? Like in the past year, you know what I mean? Since we're going off the personal questions, you've had one of your boys, you know what I mean, pass out. You know,
exactly.
Capo.
Yeah.
A lot of me, I call him Island because you know my mom was really close to his mom and stuff like that. But you know him even more on a personal tip, and not to use this for the interview, but since we're talking about you, you know what I mean? Could you kind of bring us into your world as to what happened?
Fam, when the whole incident happened, like me, I was torn. You know, me, it was literally one of those where I'm in a situation where it's like, what is life? You know, like. When I got the news, me, I was like, is this even real, you know? He's going to just call me tomorrow and be like, yo, what he saying? Say something stupid, you know how he always does, you know?
Because for the niggas that actually know him, he was the one to finesse his way out of situations ever.
At the end of the day, like, bro, me, I knew him. That was my dog, you know what I mean? Like, basically right-hand man, you know? And, like, he used to live in the South, you know, like right near me and everything. Me and him are kicking it every day. I'm going to his house. We're playing 2K, you know, we're at his house, you know. It's just like jokes thing, you know, and it's like, it's sad, like, you know, it's sad to say, sad to hear, but it's like, till this day, I still don't believe it, you know what I mean? And it's like, you only know how it feels to lose a close friend when you lose a close friend, you know what I mean? And it's like, that put me in a situation where I was like, yo, like, you literally see the fake love, you know, you see this, you see that, like, people that don't even know the guy don't even bother to say, yo, how you doing, you know, when he's alive, when he's here, you know what I mean, are the first ones to say whatever they're gonna say, you know what I mean, are the first ones to comment, but it's like, yo, when he was alive, why didn't you go out of your way and say, yo, how's your day, fam, how you been, you know what I mean, what are you up to today, you know?
And
but it's like,
I feel you on that, 100%, because
you know?
like my mom and his mom were close, but me to say I've only played ball with him. You know, for the niggas that know AAU, like guardsmen and all that stuff, I played basketball with him, and like I wasn't even that close to him to the point where I felt when everybody went off on that situation, I felt like that's my place to stand back because I don't know him personally like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I saw all the niggas that came through and commented on that shit on some fake shit, you know what I mean?
I like that. Because they did the same thing with my dog SOG. You know, some people they didn't really know.
That was a big one as a loss for the city too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like I feel like to have someone in the studio that really knew him, that ran with him the way that you did, it's always more essential. It's always better to have your real opinion. You know what I mean? Not to put you on the spot or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Since you went through it, I feel like it was important for you to at least speak your mind as to what happened.
Sure, it's just like it's just. You, like I said, you see the fake love to the people, like, you know, that, like, there's a difference between giving your respects, giving your condolences, and then there's a difference between trying to talk about something you don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
using him as a wave.
You know what I mean? Using him as a wave, using him for clout, you know what I mean? Trying to use his name, like, yo, like, bro, you didn't, like, it just cheeses me talking about it, but it's like, yo, you didn't even know the guy. How are you trying to use his name to get anywhere in life? You know what I mean? Like, yo, that should make you feel like shit. You know what I mean? Like, imagine someone else's dead homie and, like, passed away, and then me, I'm trying to, yo, long live this, long live that, to try to build a name for myself.
Post pictures with him. Yeah, I know,
Post, like, do a video and then say long live this guy when I didn't even know him. You know, that would make me feel like shit, and that would make me feel fake. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, I'm doing something I know I'm not supposed to be doing. You know, and it's like, yo, you should absolutely feel for that other person on the other side that actually feels a way. You know what I mean?
But sometimes silence is better than just talking about it.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Nah, facts.
Just knowing where your place is.
Let the man rest in peace.
Of course, 100%.
Let the man rest in peace.
And you know what I mean? Like, your subject matter in your music, you know what I mean? And it's really representative as to where you are in life, you know what I mean? What do you, personally, before we go any further, like, how do you feel like the recovery, you know what I mean, has been for you?
Like, when he was here, like, we'd actually talk about my music every day, you know, we wavy, you know, like, he even started his photography page for like, not for We Wavy, but it was just to, like, I'm like, yo, you should start photography, you know, like, his sister had a camera and everything. I'm like, yo, you know, at the end of the day, you could be a part of the team. We always need a videographer, we need a photographer, we need the rappers, we need, you know what I mean, the promoters, we need the engineers, etc. You know, so I'm like, yo, you could be the photographer, you know, and this guy was doing his grind. He was shooting people from the east side, you know, and people were actually, like, it was gaining a following. You know, he was doing his thing, and at the end of the day, he was telling me, yo, I'm going to invest in We Wavy, this, that, you know, and it was just like, yo, he was one of the only people that were actually, like, knew what I was about and how serious I was taking the music game, and, like, that's why he took the initiative to be as serious as
on
me.
his grind,
you
too.
know what I mean?
And that's
He was
what
like,
bosses do. You put your homies in
the
position.
thing. At the end of the day, you know, and even though, like, he wasn't my boss, like, bro, this guy was probably my main motivator, you know? He's like, yo, he was working, you know, at, like, old age home. He's like, yo, every check, I'm a pitch basically with you, you know, on the next video or whatever, promotion, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever need be, I got you. You know what I mean? It's like no other dog told me that, you know? And it's like, yo, for him to tell me that, it's like, yo, you know what it do, you know how it's not cheap, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you're just a real nigga, you know what I mean? That was my dog.
Actually, I won't even lie on everything. I actually heard of Dodo Banks from Capo. Like, I actually thought this guy was an East Side nigga for some reason. I always used to see him, like, one here and there in the East, you know? So I'm like, yo, this guy must be an East Side cat, you know?
Yeah.
Then I went to the barbershop on Silver and Gold. I was with my dog, and then I saw Capo, you know? He's like, yo, you should check out my boy Dodo Banks, I'm like, who's this guy trying to send me another artist, you know?
That's you know, that's my dog.
I saw that Lavish track, and I was like, okay, that's it. I need to
Yeah.
You know?
You've been flexing bands a bit too hard in your videos, man.
I'm like, who's this little nigga trying to flex like that? You know?
And that's another thing I wanted to, you know what I mean, ask you, just in terms of the lifestyle in the South. You know what I mean? Growing up, niggas in the South, we're not going to hide it. There's a bit more projects. Coming up in there is kind of harder, you know what I mean? Niggas don't have the guap like niggas do out in the East or in the South. And it's like, the places that have better houses are a bit, you know, further, but the core center of the South, you know what I mean? It's where niggas like kind of have to grind their way up.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So for you to speak like the content matter, like how important is it for you to include that into your music, the lifestyle that you actually live?
You just gotta make your way out at the end of the day, you know. Like, I'm not gonna like. There's always somewhere worse. You know, you have to put it that way. There's always somewhere worse, so you can't act like you have the worst of it, you know? But at the end of the day, with what you have, you gotta make it. You gotta make it through, you know? You just gotta make it with what you got and make something big with your resources you have, you know? We don't have a lot of money, okay? So everyone comes together, brings the money, and then that's more money right there, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, man's are out here, you know?
We're gonna prove them wrong.
That's it.
The only thing I hear about the South is that we're grimy, this, that. We're just gonna prove them wrong.
And that says a lot, man, for you to be able to bring a whole collective of people to push you as an artist. Of course, the other people in the collective, but to push you, one of the many artists in that collective, that says a lot, man. A lot of people, you know what I mean, are looking up to you. And
respect.
That's a good look, man.
Sure.
Definitely a good look. So you know what I mean? So we can start being a bit mopey a bit in this conversation. Can you please let everybody that's, you know what I mean, watching this interview right now, let us know how you got into the music game. Because it's not always easy for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like how I got into the music game, I kind of just started on my own, you know? So basically, like I said, I was with Cab God, you know, Boss Man, these guys, because they went to my school, you know.
What high school did you go to?
St. FX.
Oh, say a word.
Yeah, I went there.
I thought you went to like St. Pat's or some shit.
I thought Dodo was a Frenchie. How about I tell you?
Say a
I thought you went to
word.
Franco
Bro, it's like,
I know this man for like at least a year or two, and he just told me the other day he doesn't speak French, my G.
yeah, geez. So
You're Haitian, you don't speak French?
Yo,
What?
I hate to say it.
Who's what?
I hate to say it on live. I'm cheesy. One of those I'm exposed right now, you know? But yo, it's one of those where like me, I was just rebellious as a kid, you know? Like me, I didn't like speaking French, you know? Like, so it was just always English. My mom talks to me English, you know? Don't talk French, you know? Like, you know, it's one of those. So then when I got older, it's like now I understand everything, but when it comes to talking, it's like the verbs. You know, le parfait, passer comme You know, me, I don't do that. Me, I'll just mix up the whole sentence, and then like a French person will look at me and be like, "What are you trying to say?" You know? Like they'll kind of grasp, you know. But it's like, yo, I'm not doing that. That's not me, bro.
No, for sure. And like. And to even enter the music world in Ottawa, you don't really have to speak French, or even go to school. You know what I mean? You don't really need to speak French. But as a Haitian nigga, come on, man.
Yeah, jeez.
And like,
but like all my brothers speak French. You know what I mean? Like,
also, you're the kid, basically. You're the kid in the family. You're the last in the family.
No. I have a little brother.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
But like, yeah, all my brothers speak French, but it's just me, you know. So it's
soon time.
You said it's not happening, huh?
You know, T-shirt got me.
And this music stuff, you know what I mean? Who are some of your inspiration, you know what I mean?
I
can kind of tell here and there. I see with the Migo shades, you know what I mean?
You know, like, me, I'm not gonna lie. Me, I've been, like, listening to Migos, you know? But I also listen to, like my other influences. I like Playboy Cardi, you know? Who else? Like, I listen to, like, Smoke Perp, you know?
Big one.
Like, these guys are, like, me, I just like upbeat music, you know? Like, who else? Who else is in there?
Chief? Back in the days?
Like, I used to listen to Chief, but, like, I listened to actually a lot of drill. So I listened to, like, Ludfo, Lil J, you know, I still listen to, like, L.A. Capone, you know, like, 600 Breezy, all these guys. So, me, I mainly listen to drill, to be honest. But then there's the other, like, hip-hop side, like, regular hip-hop, I guess to say. And, like, me, I listen to, like, you know, like, Future, Drake, you know, just the mainstream people, you know? So, yeah, that's about it, you know? Like, but me, I kind of, the way I make my music, I kind of just try to find my own sound, but, like, obviously listening to other artists, you're going to kind of bite on certain sounds, but at the end of the day, you just have to be creative.
And it's not even biting. I feel like it's more influential.
It's influential, it's influential, but at the end of the day, you have to make your
own sound out of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Migos are spitting, you can't come on the same wave and be like, Mama, you know, like, you know, it's not one of those.
And people be doing that too. That's
I guess that was my next question. You know what I mean? Like, how do you kind of make your own sound out of that inspiration? Because to find your sound and that inspiration might not be, if you're not a creative person and you're doing this for the money, it might be a bit harder.
Yeah.
So for you to find your own sound, like, take us through that process a bit.
Honestly, me, I just listen to, like, I listen to drill, and then, like, that's what influences my lyrics, I would say. You know? That's what influences my music. So, like, drill, you know? And, like, listening to that, you know, obviously you're going to talk about artillery, you're gonna talk about like lean, you're gonna talk about all that stuff, you know. And at the end of the day, like, that's what I like to hear. So I'm gonna make a track that I like to hear, you know. I'm not gonna make a track that like is my creative process, but I don't like to hear it. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of making the track? You know. So it's like, yeah, me, I would say drill is my main influence, but my process of making the track, how it goes, is like, I used to literally just sit in my room. I have a big speaker in my laptop, you know, and I just replay the beat. The beat literally plays like 10 times, you know. You know, 3 times I finish the hook, and then run it back again, you know, and then I'm doing the verse. You know, I'm doing the verse. Hook comes again, and then I'm doing the next verse.
So basically, you were conditioning yourself for that life.
You know what I mean? I was basically conditioning, essentially, you know. And then just, I would listen to the beats, and I started on YouTube beats, you know. But, like, me, I was aiming for producers that had a big name for themselves. So yeah, I looked for these guys, and then I seen that these guys on their beats, they had a lot of views, right? So I'm like, okay, if I use one of their beats, my track will get a lot of views. So I just bought the beat. I didn't buy it exclusive, like I just bought like an unlimited lease.
Okay, it's a lease thing.
Yeah,
okay.
so basically what it is like I can use it like anytime, like unlimitedly. I just can't like monetize it on YouTube, etc. You know. For y'all that don't know, you guys will learn about
Pay for your beats.
Pay for your beats, do your research and everything, aim for exclusives if you got the money for it, bread talks. So basically, I bought these beats, these producers had a big name for themselves, and then I said, I'm gonna promote myself the right way. And then just from there I said I'm gonna get on a professional platform. Boom. Got on Spotify, Apple Music, this, that. And I'm not gonna lie, I started on SoundCloud, with my first track, Goddamn, and then coming with Calm It Down.
Banger.
And then from there, I just went onto Spotify and like Apple Music professional platforms, and then I just said, I'm gonna promote myself the proper way, and then from there, my numbers just started booming.
No, definitely, and that's definitely something that we've seen, you know what I mean? Just in terms of people like, you know what I mean, you've worked with and the accolades you had, I'd say that one of the biggest one that I was even shook, like not even on some hating that shit, you know what I mean, but that I was even surprised that I saw was Cole Bennett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That interview you got out of there was definitely a good look for you. So like, it kind of take us through that, because that's a lot of niggas in the city can't claim that.
Yeah, they don't know. It's like, shout out Lyrical Lemonade, because at the end of the day, a lot of blogs, they're opinion based. I'd say like if they rock with you, they'll post you, you know what I mean? Like not because you're doing numbers or whatever, they'll post you. Like if they rock with you personally, they'll just post you. So that's why big like shout out to Lyrical Lemonade for rocking with me. They did an article for me and everything, and then from there it was good looks, and then I'm still talking to them, we're still networking and everything, still creating convo here and there, and then from there, soon time's gonna be a video of Cole Bennett.
No, definitely. I'll definitely be looking out for that exclusive in my emails once that comes out.
I got you.
Some free shit, you know?
I'm actually going to LA this summer still.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a plan.
I'll give you guys that much.
Okay.
GMP in LA this summer.
Okay, keep me in the loop, because I want to know about these things.
I got you.
I want to be able to show
today,
you.
Keep it updated.
You better keep that shit updated.
I got you, honest.
But you know what I mean? Before we stepped out, you know what I mean? I felt like we had a good understanding of who, as an artist, you are. You know what I mean? Dodo Banks as the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So before we let you out of here, you know what I mean? The scene is creating itself. And as someone that has the amount of views that necessitates a bit of attention, you know what I mean? You have the talent, you have the people, the accolades and stuff like that. Who are some of the people you see yourself probably, you know what I mean, working in the future, if you do see yourself working with them?
Me and Rebel, so the after party, have a little collab going on, so that's coming soon.
Every time I listen to a song, I feel like I'm on lean, like, wait. So
basically I got a little collab with him coming soon, and then from there I've been talking to others, like other artists and everything, and then soon time, a collab will just, be about, but I don't want to name the other artists yet because it's not a confirmed thing, It's
no,
you know
definitely.
What I mean?
Until the collab comes together, you're getting no cup, man.
So, you know what I mean? So basically, right now I'm just doing my thing. I have Drippy Season 2 on the way.
Okay.
So that's dropping
Stay
soon.
Stay tuned for that.
And then followed obviously by more videos and everything, and then an album coming after that. So it's moves still.
Okay, so now we're busting move. We're serious with it.
Big moves,
we're
big
working.
moves.
We're working.
No,
Southside's really working.
You have to put that out there.
We always have to put it out.
Always.
Shout out the rest, shout out Leah, shout out Ice World, and whoever else working training season in the South. We see everybody. Shout out big homie Lawless Els,
Maurice Moore even.
Moore, he's doing big things.
He
That's
already
my family
knows.
right there.
He already knows.
So this guy's in LA right now doing his thing.
So
straight family.
Definitely, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming through for this interview. I feel like with everything you guys got cooking up, you know what I mean? This is definitely not the last interview. We'll have more shit coming through.
My bad to cut you off though, but yo, shout out to KGJ and J Creole for getting Set Card Entertainment. You guys make my music happen. You know, the KGJ is my producer, my engineer, so he just makes everything happen. That's the reason why it sounds so, you know, great.
Drippy.
You know, drippy, you know what I mean?
So we're definitely gonna have these niggas on the interview too. Okay, perfect.
Big
well,
move.
Dodo Banks, I want to thank you very much for coming through again.
You already know.
Appreciate that, my G.
You
know what I mean? Too short, I appreciate that. And that was another interview. Yeah.